Ilia Topuria has done it again. I'm starting to run out of words for this guy. Confidence that this man shows is just oozing off of him. I've never seen someone so confident that they are going to win a fight in my life. Conor McGregor used to be a showman, used to be confident. And even then, I don't think he was on this level of confidence that Ilia Topuria has. I don't think there's an element in his mind that he's ever losing a fight. The fight started and they ended up on the ground in nearly under a minute. And as a Charles fan, this is exactly where you wanted the fight to be. Although Charles was on the bottom and on the scorecard, it doesn't look as good. You are never in fear. With his high-level jiu-jitsu, he has the most submissions in UFC history with 16. You're never worried about Charles Oliveira being on his back. Which showed because around 3:30 minutes left in the fight, Charles went for a heel hook. Did end up bringing Topuria to the ground, and for a split second you thought there's a chance he might get this in. And Topuria might be in trouble. Topuria began to do everything possible to get out of it. And he ended up landing a hook on Charles, which made Charles had to readjust, lose his grip, and let Topuria stand up. Composure showed by Topuria in that exchange was second to none. Seems to speak to how he is as a person. Confident, composed. Back to it, like I said, Charles has the most submissions in UFC history. You're in a tough position with a heel hook getting locked in. Now, don't get me wrong, he hadn't had it in, but for a split second, anyone else would be a bit worried. But Topuria just didn't show an ounce of it. He stayed composed, kept to the game plan, and knew he was getting out of that. With 2 minutes and 38 seconds left in the fight, Topuria lands a strong jab to the body and then a strong jab to the head, which seconds later set up the lovely combination and good night, Charles. The fact that Topuria comes from a grappling background is frightening because he throws combinations like a boxer. When I watch Topuria fight, I just cannot seem to find a weakness in his game. On the ground, he's brilliant. Standing up, he's brilliant. Even outside of the cage, he celebrated his fight he hadn't had yet the day before the fight because he was that confident he was going to win. Now, I don't blame him for being that confident. In just over a year and 4 months, he has knocked out Volkanovski, Max Holloway, now Charles Oliveira. That is a resume of the who's who in UFC. That is top tier level of fighters. Now, after the fight, Paddy Pimblett got in the ring, showed his respect to Ilia, which I did like, but strongly believes that he will win that fight. This is coming from a fan in the UK. I do not believe Paddy Pimblett should be getting the next chance. I understand he looked amazing in his last fight against Michael Chandler. Proved a lot of people wrong, including myself. A win over Michael Chandler, who in the UFC has only beat Dan Hooker and Tony Ferguson, should not propel you to a title shot. I do understand why the UFC is making the fight. They've had a run-in backstage. They've had a back and forth on social media. Ilia wants this fight, and also it is a business. This fight will sell. From a business standpoint, it makes sense. Paddy has also strongly voiced and thinks for a long time that he beats Ilia Topuria. Personally, I just don't see it. I don't see any part of his game that Ilia is not better than him. Other than being taller, having a longer reach, I don't see where he will have the advantage over Topuria. So Paddy leaves that chin up high. Topuria catches him. He says Scousers don't get knocked out. But just wait for this. This fight will be, I'm not really too sure. I'd imagine if anything, it's going to be the year, maybe early next year, just because Ilia has been fighting non-stop, been fighting top-level opponents non-stop. At the same time, he's not been in the octagon for too long. He seems to be knocking everyone out who he's fighting. Who I would root for in that fight, I genuinely don't know. I'm a massive fan of Topuria. Paddy is English. After what Paddy pulled in the Euros when he was supporting Spain over England, I mean, we might have to do a little Uno reverse here and support Topuria, who's from Spain, over Paddy. Ultimately, I just want it to be a good fight. I think that will be an amazing fight, but I do think Topuria beats him. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you think that fight goes. If you like this content, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.